celebration of the life of omniscient Jamgön MiphamRinpoche. This year is the 111th year anniversary of the passing of Jamgön MiphamRinpoche, the 19th century Buddhist master. His knowledge has been practiced in all of the Nyingma schools of Buddhism, as well as many of the Kagyu schools. Jamgön MiphamRinpoche is considered to be an emanation of Manjushri, and therefore he possessed a high degree of knowledge across a vast number of subjects, ranging from metaphysics to science, biology, astrology, and many, many more. He was also a proponent of the Rimé movement, which promotes non-sectarianism and universalism by joining together the teachings of the four schools of Tibetan Buddhism. Jamgön MiphamRinpoche discovered many termas, or mind treasures. A mind treasure is when a master spontaneously recalls teachings. The teachings arises from the power of the master's wisdom, as when Guru Rinpoche himself is talking directly to the mind of the sage. In addition to being a celebration of Jamgön MiphamRinpoche's life, we also welcome all of you here as part of our fundraising for Mipham Shedra's temple building project. Mipham Shedra started 21 years ago, and we're excited to be moving into the next phase of our growth with the creation of a new temple. This is not the first anniversary of Jamgön MiphamRinpoche that we have celebrated at Mipham Shedra. In 2002, Rinpoche celebrated this wonderful day at the September School in Boulder, with perhaps 10 or 15 people in attendance. After 21 years, we've come a long way, and it is a blessing that we have so many Sangha members. So thank you all for coming. We have a wonderful and very exciting program planned for you today. And we'd like to begin by inviting all of you to join us for a delicious vegan and gluten-free lunch. So everything you see at those tables is all vegan and gluten-free. And at 12:45, we will, the time is, yes, 12:25, we will reconvene for a talk by Lopin Rachel Rinpoche.
To everyone, and first I want to say a prayer to Jamgön MiphamRinpoche. So since today is the anniversary of Jamgön MiphamRinpoche, first I will say this in one time in Tibetan and then second time in English. Rikton Jambalajun Chinable, Gombilon, Popi Terjitol, Lonto, Chunsu Jamsun, Awanju, Mipham Jambianla, Chatsalo. Through the blessings of the youthful Manjushri, awareness and emptiness, you released the 8 treasures of eloquence from the expanse of realization. Supreme master of an ocean of scriptural and realizational dharma. Anjita Vijaya La, to you Ajita Vijaya, Mipham Namgyal, I pray. So now, first also I wanted to thank my Guru Chabji Baga Rinpoche and my Guru Chabji Ziga Kontru Rinpoche, and then Dongsela, and all the friends, supporters, and Sangha, and everybody here. Thank you very much for coming here. And then, as our MC Gabriel mentioned, it is quite amazing to see that in 2001, one time, I tried to have this anniversary of Mipham, Jamgön Mipham, which is anniversary, in September school. We had 15 or 10 people, and now it is quite amazing to see this many people came to join this anniversary. And also, I prepared a speech. I spoke to Gabriel, and Gabriel tried to write it down, so I better read this. That way it saves time. I usually never read like this. Excuse me. And I also did not get a chance to prepare, but I will try to read. Back in 2001, when my teacher, His Holiness MiphamRinpoche, was giving a retreat in Austin, Texas, he invited me into his room in the middle of the night. It was 3 a.m. I will never forget what he told me at one point in that conversation. He said, "Never do anything for yourself alone. Do everything for others. Then whatever you envision, do not limit it. Have a great vision, a great dream. Do not hesitate to make any decision, just do it. Nothing is impossible. Everything will come true. In the beginning, it will be hard, but eventually, in the end, it will be bright." As I have gone through the process of establishing Mipham Shedra from the beginning up until now, I can see my teacher, His Holiness MiphamRinpoche's footprint and even smell his aroma. He was a living example of what he told me to be. His Holiness did not remain up high on his throne as a Rinpoche. He went down on the ground, cooking for his monks, cleaning, vacuuming, and sweeping. He was a farmer who grew food to feed his monks. He was an architect and engineer who designed and built a place for his monks, temples, to live and study. He was everything and everywhere. He was selfless. We have a saying that "Dok ambone chutin," which means he squeezed the water from dry rock. He made the impossible possible. He squeezed water from a dry rock at the exact moment that the Nyingmapa, our lineage, was dying, around right after the 1959. It was only a dying ember, but out of this ember, he made a huge fire. When His Holiness talked to me that night in Austin, Texas, he gave me all of the answer I needed. When difficulties arise, I know what he would say. I am also trying to squeeze water from dry rock. It's almost impossible to me. But I listened to what he predicted. I believe whatever he said is the truth. Today, I am trying to do what he did, to invite teachers from everywhere. It's like making a delicious curry. To make a delicious curry, you need all of the spices. If I tried to be the only teacher, that would be a little selfish. I'm trying to invite all of the precious masters here to bring direct benefit to my Sangha, through my Sangha, to benefit all sentient beings. I am not the only teacher. Mipham Shedra or any Buddhist community is not just the building, but most importantly, it is knowledge. This is how my teacher was. He created the monastery, then invited all of the knowledgeable masters, the wise people, the Rinpoches. By sharing their knowledge with the Sangha, he produced thousands of masters from the monastery. Similarly, my aim is to invite many great masters, listen to their teachings, and receive their blessings. This knowledge and these blessings are the most important essence. From this knowledge and these blessings, new masters will be produced in the Sangha. This will be our contribution to the benefit of sentient beings. Mipham Shedra's mission is to promote the preservation and practice of Tibetan Buddhism for the benefit of all sentient beings. In that way, the mission of Mipham Shedra will be fulfilled. Buddha Dharma is the life-changing asset. All sentient beings could become very rich or very poor. We could become very famous or not, but no matter where we go, we are like bees stuck in the bottle, no matter how high or low we go. We continue to be stuck there. This stuckness relates to the fact that things are impermanent. You may have property or business or not, but whatever you have, these things keep changing. Your emotion or mind continues to have this movement up and down. The economy also moves up and down. So do fame, fortune, and all of these things. Even if you are famous and rich, you may have even more turbulence of emotions. You may look free, but you are still just as stuck. At this important role, this is the life change that can happen. We don't need to depend on drugs or alcohol. We actually have a powerful asset in Dharma. Mipham Shedra is teaching and training people to discover this asset. That is what is life-changing. There is no product out there that we can buy that will help us the way the Dharma will. I am so glad it is not easy. If it were easy, then this wouldn't be Dharma. I'm glad there are so many challenges. We Sangha have been through all of these challenges, and challenges will continue to be there. But that is Dharma. Kawa mena ngudub me, that's what we say in Tibetan. Without challenge, there is no siddhi, there's no accomplishment, there's no blessings. I believe the process we have been through must be purifying all of our negative karma, allowing us to achieve great merit. We have been through so many challenges. There is not one place where there has not been a challenge, but here are just a few. When I first started Mipham Shedra, I did not have my paperwork. I didn't even have my passport, and I did not speak English well. I didn't understand the culture. I did not have enough friends, and I did not have money. I was a nomad going from one living room to another living room, sleeping on people's couches. Some were Buddhist and some were non-Buddhist. But one thing that I did have was my guru's instruction, the prediction that I read at the beginning of this talk. That was the one hope and essence I had in my heart. As my guru predicted, things did become bright in the end. There were many phases, but gradually I met many people and received much benefit. I was able to obtain my green card and even US citizen. Then in 2004, I established Mipham Shedra as a nonprofit organization, 501c3. Even in those beginning times, many people asked me, "What is your vision?" I told them, "I'm looking for a property close to the community where I can build a temple where everyone can come." At that time, those people who asked me this question were very kind. They did not say exactly what they felt. Eventually, I purchased land in Westminster, Colorado, a place to build a temple. Then those people who had asked me about my vision in the past told me, "We thought you were crazy back then. You had no food, yet you were talking about buying this great land for a temple." We purchased the land in 2017, but again we met another challenge. I thought after buying the land we would be all set, but this was not true. We then went through 4 years of struggle with the zoning process. As we attempt to get our land zoned for religious use, it was too expensive to hire law firms to work on this for us. All the neighbors were mad at us. They did not want us to build a temple. It was quite confusing, but again, I followed what my guru said. Don't be selfish, just do for others. Just do it and everything will be fine. So I did it. But it wasn't easy. During the zoning process, 12 of my neighbors sued me for trying to build a temple. I was quite surprised, even panicked. I was not sure what this even meant. I think Gabriel put everything what I said. Okay. In my Sangha, there was always a man sitting at the back of the room on a chair during the meditation. I didn't know who he was. I later found out he was one of the best lawyers around. He popped up and said, "I will help you, don't worry." While we were going through the zoning process, that lawyer, While we were going through the zoning process, we also brought a counter lawsuit against my neighbors. We had 2 nights of meetings with the city council, which lasted from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. both nights. The mayor was there with all of his staff, and all of my neighbors were there. In the end of those 2 nights, at 2 a.m., Okay, yes, I will read it. Maybe I will read it. Yeah. 2 a.m. We succeeded in securing the required zoning permission. 7 members of the city council voted and we won by 4-3. My neighbors were screaming and yelling at the mayor and all of the staff members. I was with my wife and 2 kids and the whole Sangha. The police told me they would escort us home because the situation could be dangerous. They would also drive their car by our house to monitor us and make sure we were okay. I asked my family, wife and kids to sleep at a Sangha member's house, but I wanted to go back to my house to sleep that night. My Sangha asked me why I wanted to go back to my house when I could be in danger. To be honest, my heart felt that for generations my people struggled to preserve our culture of Buddha Dharma from Tibet. There are so many masters, so many of my relatives, so many of my people who struggled and lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands of lives were lost just to preserve this Dharma. Then my people carried this Dharma from Tibet to India. They did this not because they feared of their lives, but because they feared losing the Dharma from the earth. They settled in India. Some of my teachers said to me, we did not come to India because of the fear of our own lives, but because of fear for the life of the Dharma. These masters risked their lives to preserve the Dharma. They passed this lineage and responsibility on us. The first time I came to US, I was not very mature. I did not know all of the little things, the things I go through each and every time I have encountered challenges, but I smell the rose aroma of my teacher. I can almost see the footprint of my guru. He left these footprints for me. I didn't want to sleep at someone else's house. I felt so fortunate to risk my life for Dharma. I wanted to see what my teacher had done. I wanted to sacrifice my own life to protect the Dharma. So I decided to go to sleep in my own house and see what happens. Some Sangha members said, Rinpoche, please don't go. We will come to sleep at your house with you. One Sangha member would not listen to me when I said no. So he came with me and we went together to the house that night. I wondered what might happen. I was waiting. I did some practice Dharmapala Puja, but nothing happened. After this situation, a couple of weeks later, I won the lawsuit against my neighbors. My lawyer asked me, what do you want to do now? Do you want to press charge or not? I said, I wanted to win this case, but now I want us to settle this in a very peaceful way. I asked my lawyer to send my neighbors a letter saying, I did not come here to fight. I came here to preserve my struggling Dharma. For generations we suffered to preserve it. Now I want to make friends with you and remain peacefully here. Whatever happened in the past, I let it go. Let's start a new phase together. Let's be friends. Please never bother me again. I'm not a bad person here. When a big mountain of challenges arise, I remain calm and pray to my Guru. Because of the blessing of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, someone always appears at the right time. All of my neighbors were very appreciative. After that, they even came to me and said, we must have misunderstood you. You are a very good person. When the pandemic is over, we would like to come and have a cup of tea with you. My relationship with my neighbor is now very peaceful. We are very good friends. When I look at my situation today, I have proven to myself I used to doubt it a little bit. Would I be able to put my life in danger to protect the Dharma? But what I experienced and witnessed that night shows me I did it. Still, we face more challenges. Our current challenge is that we do not have the certificate of occupancy from the city of Westminster. Which we need to order to be able to practice in our temple. We have a small studio that was already there on the land when we purchased it, which can serve as a temple, but we cannot use it. We therefore have initiated our temple building project with 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 will allow us to meet the minimum requirement to open our doors to the temple so we can continue all of our classes. Phase 2 will allow us to transform our modest temple into an authentic Tibetan Buddhist structure. Now I am praying to all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I know we will overcome all of these obstacles so that opening the door to our temple can become a reality. I am asking for your help today to make this dream come true by donating to our temple building project. To explain more about the temple building project and how we can obtain our certificate of occupancy, I will turn this over to Gabriel to introduce Will Gabriel.